Hello and welcome back to another episode. Today I have a lovely little story for you that really acts for me personally as a milestone, a little marker, a measure of my personal human growth, I suppose. And I would encourage you to look out for similar little moments in your day-to-day life that just remind you of how far you've come and maybe act as a pointer to where you're going as well in terms of your skill set and your development of I suppose a more rounded way of viewing the world around you. Now, this may sound fairly grand, but the story is actually quite small. It's all about a lamp, just over there in fact, and a fork in the road. It could have gone one way, very nearly did, but instead it went another. So this is the lamp in question. I've talked about it in a previous video. It is a faux oil lamp. I don't think it ever was actually an oil lamp, but it's certainly meant to look like one, and it runs off electricity. And you may recall I got myself a lovely bulb for this lamp that when you turn it on, flickers with a flame effect. It's perfect for this part of the office, especially as we go into Halloween. I'm going to just make the most of the atmosphere. But the other day I came into the office, and what happened was I turned the lamp on and wasn't convinced actually I'd pushed the button properly, and I turned it quickly off and on again, and the lamp was not flickering. Instead it was sort of strobing with this on-off effect. And I was quite concerned. I wasn't sure if the lamp was broken, if the bulb was broken, so I very quickly turned it off and then on again. Maybe that'll fix it. No, it's just on now. There's no effect whatsoever. And of course I was gutted. I thought, have I broken my lamp? Or maybe the lamp is just broken. I got this off Facebook Marketplace after all. Maybe it's just a knackered lamp. Maybe there's something wrong with the bulb. What? Oh no. And at that point I was tempted to turn it off and just chuck it away. I was very annoyed. Recently we've had things with the computer, things with our van, other things around the house breaking on us. The dishwasher broken again actually, and this was just the latest straw, and I thought, oh, but I didn't throw it away. Instead what I did was I quickly turned off the lamp and went into the living room to watch a film. About a couple of hours later it occurred to me that maybe the lamp wasn't broken. Maybe there was something about the way I was treating the lamp that made it behave like that. Maybe actually the bulb is meant to do that sequence of lighting effects. So I came in to the office, and this time I very deliberately turned on the lamp, and it was flickering. Fantastic. Then I thought, well, okay, maybe what happened was I quickly turned it off and on again, and that signaled to the lamp that it needed to go into a different, or the bulb rather, that it needed to go into a different lighting sequence. And it did, it worked. So the final test, another rapid on or off on, and there we go. The lamp is now in a fixed on state. I finally tested the lamp by turning it off and then on, and we are flickering still. It was in fact the bulb. The bulb is meant to behave like that. It responds to essentially signals that you're giving the bulb as to how to behave. This was a crucial moment for me because it highlighted a sequence of things, skills, thoughts, a process that is not to be taken for granted. So, a little lamp with a lesson for me, or certainly an obstacle to overcome, and in so doing highlighting a series of skills that I've developed over the years. And it occurred to me that these aren't actually skills that you can really just be taught. They need to be sort of observed in other people. Maybe you see other people problem solving in certain ways and you pick up in that way. Or you can go through life and make mistakes and learn and develop an approach to problems that matures eventually, and that presumably will continue to grow and develop. But in this instance, it really all started with a skill of observation. You know, I noticed, oh, this lamp appears to be broken. It's not behaving the way I wanted it to. I'm not expecting it to do this. Oh, great. And it was very tempting just to presume it was knackered. You know, I mean, I bought it off Facebook Marketplace, second hand. Yes, I've tinkered with the wiring a little bit to make it a more secure circuit, but there's no guarantee that it wasn't just knackered. And that was tempting. I was very tempted just to throw it away in a whirlwind of frustration. But thankfully, almost immediately, a habit of questioning came to the fore. Really, are you sure? Are you certain that your initial conclusion is correct? Is it possible that you're wrong? Now, that was followed by patience. Again, I think this is a learned skill. Patience. I went away, finished watching a film that we were watching on Netflix, Whisper of the Heart, Studio Ghibli. Fantastic film. And then while I was watching that, I in the back of my mind thought, oh, actually, maybe there's a pattern here. Maybe the bulb is behaving in a way that it's designed to behave. Maybe it's not broken after all. Now that requires a certain amount of confidence. Again, I think this is a learned skill. Confidence in your surmisings, in your thought process, which can only really be challenged through testing. That's the next step, testing the premise. After the film was done, I came into the office, I played with the switch a little bit and tested my theory, and it turned out that actually it was correct. Confirmation, confirming, not just stopping short of actually finishing that process. Now, what I've described there, I've actually made a note here on my phone, is some of it could be described as sort of scientific process. Some is personal development and skills that aren't necessarily easy to teach or learn, although obviously time and observation does help. So part of it probably comes out of having been exposed to the scientific process in high school and at university. But I think stopping, applying it to something in your life, not just throwing something away and replacing it, especially these days, and coming out the other end having learned something. I now know that this lamp has a feature that I didn't realize it had, and actually isn't even clear on the box that the bulb came in fact, means that I'm the richer for it. I've grown even in a small way in terms of my knowledge about my environment because I've developed this set of skills. Now, obviously, I don't always apply them successfully. I'm certain that there are moments, teachable moments, when I've just gone and just thrown things away or walked away or whatever. I've just been a bit too frustrated with something. But that moment, that couple of hours from beginning to end, just reminded me. It served as a little marker along the road where I could have gone ballistic. I could have just chucked everything in the bin, but instead I tested, having patiently considered the prospect that maybe I was wrong, and in so doing I learned something new, and now I have an even better lamp than I had before. Not bad. Hopefully this has been interesting, and or at the very least has made you consider ways in which maybe you might mark out times in your life when you've learned something, and maybe just pat yourself on the back. Until next time, guys, do take care. Bye bye.